Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's poppin'? Want to do a real quick video on how to deal with not finding your purpose in life or not finding your craft. This is something, unfortunately, that I am still struggling with and still battling myself. I hate to say it. I've said in my other YouTube videos that I've had so many different type of jobs, so many different type of career fields. I've done it damn near all. I've been a construction worker, a plumber. I've worked in IT. I've done YouTube videos. I've worked in banking. I've worked in mortgage and doing mortgages. I've worked in like doing loans in like a loan department for like credit cards and for like personal loans. I've done a wide variety of tasks, man. And you know what? I've never found anything that that I could look at and be like, this is my craft. Like a welder, weld stuff. A builder, build. Like I just never really found that thing that I could do at a high level because there was always like a ceiling. Like I always got stopped, or one thing that did hurt me was plumbing, because I love plumbing so much. It's just my body was just breaking down. Like my body's just not built to be carrying buckets of concrete. Like I'm just not that guy. I'm just not that guy. This is something that always dug into me, man, because I'm like, why can't I find my craft? And the thing is, some find it earlier than others, and it hurts to say, it's hard to accept, but it is true. Billy might find electrical work interesting and might be a master electrician by the time he's 25, but Tom didn't find his thing in, I don't know, freaking real estate or car sales or whatever the heck he's really extremely good at, where he's able to perform highly and make a bunch of money. He might not have found that until he was in his 30s. I'm 27. I decided to make YouTube videos because I always watched YouTube. YouTube has given a lot to me, so I wanted to kind of give back to YouTube as like a way to repay everybody that helped me in life, man. A lot of people helped me in areas in life and in some aspects before I found like I would consider my father figure. YouTube was kind of raising me. But you know what? It happens, man, and I'm glad that I could be doing this. And to be honest with you, I can't work a second job anymore because I have a son. So I'm like, I have to find. I have a full-time job, of course, but I don't consider that my craft. I just do that to pay the bills, which so you gotta do what you gotta do as a father. But that doesn't mean that you should stop trying, or like you shouldn't. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't pursue it anymore, or that you should give up. And that's one of the hardest things about it, is that you can't give up, man. You have to keep trying. And this is stuff that has kept me up at night, and something that I always felt like something was missing. Like something is missing. I don't have a bit, I never wanted just like a normal job where I work 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and then everybody kind of does their thing, and it's kind of whatever, and even every job that I've ever had, even when my pay was based on statistics, there was always like a line. There was always like a line of averageness, of average performance, where if you hit this, you won't get fired. And then, I've had tons of jobs where it's not, statistically based, not performance based, where, everyone's going hard, or that expectation is really, really high. But it's really not as high as it seems if you're doing what you need to do. So I wanted to find a career or a job or a hobby where I could do something at a high level, and my efforts can be rewarded either by compensation, dude. That's something that most people want. Most people want something they kick ass at. And hopefully one day, I don't know how, but I wouldn't mind starting a business. One thing that I have that's a strong suit is customer service, sales. My math skills aren't that bad, but they're not the best. But I am very technically inclined, and I'm very comfortable in tech situations if something is introduced to me with an appropriate time frame. But I'm still pursuing it myself, and it is very frustrating. And it's not like a money thing. I used to think it was like, oh, it's because the amount of money you're making. Man, there are people in cubicle that hate their job that are making 80, 90 grand a year that are like, I wish I could do something else, but I'm freaking 40 and my kid's about to go to college, or whatever the case may be, and I got too much on the line. And that's one thing that you have to think about if you do switch careers or paths, or you pick up a hobby, you need to know what is going to be affected in your life by you doing this. For me, YouTube was a very easy fit because I always wanted to do YouTube. I was already doing it here and there, and I can't work a second job. So instead of me working a second job, I just pretend that I am clocking into YouTube. And I hope you find your thing, and I try to talk to people. Google and YouTube, man. Google and YouTube is the most powerful tool. Find what you are good at, figure out what you enjoy, and just keep trying. You know, like I might go back into construction or some type of remodeling gig for a little while just so I can learn the basics of that, because I would love, I want to buy my house, my first house, and I would love to be able to remodel it, and not to flip it, but I would like to, you know, transform a home, make sure the structure integrity is great, make sure it has good curb appeal, you know, for it to be a great listing on the market, and then for me to either be able to resell it or to rent it. And you know, that's what my plans are, and I want to do a lot of the work myself. I'm going to have to do a lot of work myself because I'm not balling. You know, if you're balling, you can just pay somebody. It's nothing. But that's kind of like what my focus is at. You know, you want to make sure you have a focus. And if you don't, you know, just work backwards, dude. Like I was like, I want to, you know, help some people. I would love to help somebody get like a job or something, because I'm pretty good at that. I've had every job. I've had every job imaginable. But you know, I was like, hey, I can help people. I might make some money off this. I might be able to I might be able to do just enough to the point to where I can like pay for the LLC paperwork and stuff. And the next thing you know, I got a little business, even though I don't really bring in revenue, but that's a step, you know. And like the way I looked at it is I was like, okay, well, if I'm doing YouTube, I started looking at equipment I could buy. I got me a webcam. I got me multiple microphones, kept upgrading, got backgrounds. Found my niche, and you kind of work backwards. And then like once you get all the equipment, you get the topics, next thing you know, you have a background, a little studio, then you find your niche, and then you keep pumping out videos, and then those videos bring subscribers, and then with subscribers come people rewatching your video. With people rewatching your video, you get ad revenue. With ad revenue, you get money. With money, you might have enough money to put that back into your channel, or put into a business. And with that, you know, it's like a chain reaction. And so that's kind of how I've done that with everything. I've done that with IT and plumbing. I was a crappy plumber, okay, terrible. But I always found a way to get a plumbing job, even though I was competing against dudes that were mechanically inclined, and I couldn't put together a cabinet from IKEA, you know. But I was always good at working backwards, and I was really good at selling myself. And even in IT, I did IT for 6 years. I worked in IT in multiple different companies, and I did not have a degree. And I did good in those interviews. I got hired because I figured out what they wanted and how I could give them what they wanted, how I could present it in a way that would be appealing to them. And it always worked. I have extremely high success rate in job interviews. Something I've been blessed with, not to brag, but you know, that's kind of how I approach things. It's how I'm approaching this house. I figure out what kind of house just working backwards. And I don't know who the heck told me that to start doing that, because I was like, oh, how did I get here? It was like, well, you gotta think, you know, just start looking, just look at it. Once you look at it, everything can be broken down, you know. And just like your passion or your hobby that you want to make money off of one day, whatever the case may be, everything can be broken down into tiny bite-sized chunks. Whatever you want, whatever journey you want to have that has an end goal, it's all broken down. And whatever you truly want, I feel like if you truly understand something, you can tell a 5-year-old. You know, that's one of the favorite things I like to tell people when I'm not getting it. I'd be like, talk to me like I'm 5. Because if you truly get this, you can talk to a 5-year-old like this, and they'll know exactly what's going on. And if you can talk to them like that, you can talk to me like that, and I'll understand. So, you know, hey, hopefully this video was helpful. That's what the channel's for, man. I'm doing longer videos. I don't know if people actually watch them or not. But if you do, shout out to you. Please subscribe. I got more videos on the way. And I guess my goal with this channel, you know, for example, you know, this is my craft at the moment outside of my 9 to 5. I'm going to start editing videos and stuff, even though they're pretty poopy at the moment. But, you know, I guess my plan or my example of me working backwards is I created a YouTube channel. I created a brand. I created a brand name, the niche along with it to be tied into it, the areas in which I'm going to help people in, which is listed on my channel. I've done tons of videos on how to get jobs, how to boost your credit, my credit story, how I save money on my bills, how I increased my pay, how I got into shape. I do a couple videos on protecting your noodle, your mental health, and keeping your relationships in check. None of that Kevin Samuels stuff, but rest in peace. But I just try to help people to make sure you're good in the areas that matter. And I did that. That's how I imagine a good YouTube channel on my mind, or a YouTube channel that I would want to represent. And that's kind of how I've been executing and pushing out these videos and stuff. And some of the videos, might not be the best, like right now with the lighting and stuff, that's kind of driving me nuts, but I can't control that. I'm gonna make the video anyway. It is what it is. But yeah, man, you're not alone, and that's, as a man, and there are women, as a woman too. I'm sure a lot of women want to be more than just moms and wives and whatever the case. And if you don't want to be more than that, I don't blame you, because I would stay up in the house too. All right, stop the cap. All right, if I can sit up, eat grapes, and go to the gym and pick the kids up from kindergarten and not have to work, all you gotta do is clean. Hey, hopefully I get my girlfriend to do that. That'd be nice. But my thing is like, if I get this YouTube thing to work, I might not have to pay. My whole goal is, outside of helping people and giving back to YouTube, I'm not trying to pay for my son's college. So if I make $50K in ad revenue over the course of 10 years, now I gotta pay for college. I did my job as a father. I did my job as a YouTuber because I help people. I changed somebody's life. There are people on this platform that have changed my life because I figured out how to use my credit at the age of 18, 19 years old, how to get good jobs, interviews, resumes, cover letters, career paths. YouTube is so informational, and you can use it for good. That's my story on how I guess they call it reverse engineering, how I reverse engineered my YouTube channel. Even though I'm still working on the organization. That's probably my biggest lack, my biggest issue right now. And then I can rework on the appearance, because it looks a lot better than it once did. But I am happy that I have this hobby or this craft. I am very grateful, and I'll continue to work at it, even if no one watches except for my cat. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching, man. I'm out. It's your boy.